Before the Great Pyramids of Egypt reached their final stones, the Maya had already begun shaping their destiny deep within the lush rainforests of Mesoamerica. From humble beginnings, a remarkable civilization would emerge, defined by science, spirituality, warfare, and resilience. The Maya were not a single empire, but a constellation of city-states, each with its own rulers, customs, and rivalries. They thrived in regions we now know as southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Honduras and El Salvador. Around 2000 BCE, the earliest Maya began cultivating maize, corn, which became the foundation of their culture, economy, and spirituality. With time, they built ceremonial centers, engaged in trade, and developed complex religious beliefs anchored in the cycles of nature. By the time the Preclassic period reached its height, the Maya were already building pyramid-like structures, tracking the heavens, and carving glyphs, laying the groundwork for one of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world. But it was only the beginning. The Classic period, a golden age for the Maya. Cities soared in size and splendor, rivaling any ancient civilization in the world. At the heart of this greatness were city-states, fiercely independent, yet intricately connected through trade, politics, and shared beliefs. Trade routes wound like vines across the jungle. From the highlands to the sea, merchants moved obsidian blades, cacao beans, jaguar pelts, and sacred jade. Luxury goods flowed into royal courts, where kings and queens surrounded themselves with symbols of divine power. For the Maya, kings were more than rulers. They were mediators between the people and the gods. Their blood, literally, was the currency of the divine. Rituals could be intense: self-sacrifice, animal offerings, and at times, human sacrifice. These were acts of balance, keeping cosmic order. Yet religion wasn't just sacrifice, it was also science. Priests charted the skies, predicted eclipses, and aligned temples with celestial events. Art flourished: painted ceramics, intricate stelae, and hieroglyphic texts captured myth, history, and legacy. Time, to the Maya, wasn't linear. It was circular, a sacred cycle of creation and destruction. Their long-count calendar tracked these vast cosmic rhythms, but peace was rare. Rivalries ran deep. Tikal and Calakmul, two titans of the jungle, waged wars that spanned generations. Kings were captured, cities razed. War wasn't just conquest, it was ritual. The capture of a rival king could shift power across the entire region. Despite the bloodshed, this was a time of booming growth. Some cities may have supported populations of over 100,000, rivaling cities in medieval Europe. The Maya created one of the most advanced societies in the ancient world, a network of kingdoms tied together by belief, knowledge, and ambition. But beneath the surface of this grandeur, cracks were forming. By 700 CE, the great Maya cities were nearing their peak. Pyramids reached higher. Inscriptions grew richer. Yet, in the shadows of splendor, subtle signs of decline began to stir. Populations were soaring. Some areas, like the Petén Basin, may have become dangerously overpopulated. More people meant more food, but deforestation and soil exhaustion threatened agricultural stability. The jungle, once an ally, began to turn against them. As resources dwindled, tensions rose. Cities that once traded goods now clashed over territory and control. The inscriptions from this time speak of war after war. Kings captured, dynasties shattered. The gods, it seemed, were no longer listening. Across the lowlands, massive construction projects ceased. Ball courts were left unfinished, Temples abandoned mid-build. In some cities, the elite fled. Commoners were left behind. And the jungles began to reclaim what once belonged to the Maya. Was this a collapse or a transformation? In this twilight of their golden age, the Maya faced one of their greatest challenges: survival amid chaos. So what really happened to the Maya? Why did these powerful cities fall into ruin, their monuments left to the vines? The answer is not simple. There was no single cause, but a storm of interconnected factors. One of the leading theories is environmental collapse. Centuries of deforestation and slash-and-burn farming degraded the land. Add to that a series of devastating droughts, confirmed by lake sediment and cave stalactite data, and the balance tips. No rain, no crops, no food. Starvation and desperation spread. Political instability made matters worse. The divine authority of kings eroded. People questioned their rule and the gods. Some cities fell to war. Others were abandoned. Elite palaces show signs of sudden flight. Then there's the theory of internal revolt. The common people, tired of taxes, sacrifice, and hierarchy, may have simply walked away. No fire, no invasion, just silence. The people left. The jungle returned. Yet even as the southern lowlands crumbled, the Maya did not vanish. They moved. They adapted. The civilization shifted north to cities like Chichen Itza, Uxmal, and Mayapan. There, new forms of governance emerged, new trade alliances, new ideas. The Maya story continued, but the age of divine kings was over. The fall of the Maya wasn't an end, it was a transformation. The southern cities were silent, but the Maya people endured. After the collapse, a new chapter began, one of migration, adaptation, and cultural rebirth. Northern Yucatan became the new center of Maya civilization. Chichen Itza rose from the limestone plains, blending old traditions with new ideas. Here, the influence of distant cultures, like the Toltecs of central Mexico, began to mix with Maya beliefs. Temples like El Castillo echoed with myths both familiar and foreign. Maya cities flourished again, though the divine kings were gone. Power was now shared among councils, nobles, and military orders. It was a more collective age, less focused on bloodlines, more on trade and alliances. New architectural styles emerged. Huuc, Chenez, and Mixtec influences shaped everything from stone mosaics to columns. The Maya calendar endured. So did their language, their rituals, and their astronomical insights. Even under pressure from outside influences, the core of Maya identity remained. But this second golden age was not to last forever. By the 1400s, even these northern cities fell into decline, due to internal strife and new threats from across the sea. The world was about to change forever. In the early 1500s, sails appeared on the horizon, ships from a world unknown to the Maya. The Spanish had arrived. At first, contact was minimal, shipwrecked sailors, cautious explorers, but soon the conquest began. The Maya did not fall easily. Unlike the centralized Aztec Empire, the Maya lived in scattered city-states, which meant the Spanish had to fight for every territory. For over 170 years, the Maya resisted. It was one of the longest indigenous resistances in the Americas. But the weapons of the conquistadors were devastating. Steel swords, firearms, horses, and most deadly of all, disease. Entire communities were wiped out by plagues they couldn't understand or escape. Still, The Maya fought back, through diplomacy, through uprising, through endurance. By the late 1600s, even the last holdouts like Tayasal and Petén Itzá fell to Spanish forces. The conquest was complete. But not the erasure. The Maya endured. Their temples may have fallen, their kings dethroned, but their language, their knowledge, their spirit lived on. Today, the ruins of the Maya cities still rise above the trees, silent sentinels of a once great civilization. But the Maya story is far from over. Over 6 million Maya people still live in Mesoamerica, in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. They speak their ancestral languages. They farm, they write, they pray, and they protect the memory of their past. Their culture, once declared dead, now thrives through revival and resilience. Archaeologists and linguists continue to decode Maya glyphs, uncovering stories hidden for centuries. From astronomy to art, from mathematics to medicine, the Maya left a legacy that shaped the world. And perhaps the greatest lesson the Maya teach us is this: civilizations rise and fall, but people endure. Culture endures, knowledge endures. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember, the Maya did too.